Well guys, welcome back to a new video idea. This is new and different, and I've actually wrote a bit of a script for this one. I hope you enjoy. If you do, make sure to like and subscribe, and hit me up and comment down in the section below, the comment section, and I will greatly appreciate. So let me explain some rules. Right, so first of all, I should probably explain the quirks. Let me just get it up. I've got like a Word document here. Right, so as a kid, he thought he was quirkless. Then he, of course, manifested a quirk. So his quirk is he's got above average stamina. And at age 10, when he was running, he realised that he could make this above average stamina that little bit better. Stamina orbs. But in this game, in this version, he kind of earns the stamina through experience. He's only had this increase once, but that's because he's not had much use of it other than running. But he's not the most athletic as a kid, because he didn't know he had a quirk till he was 10, and then he realised he could boost his stamina, but he's not done it since then, because he had a kind of boost as soon as he got his quirk, just to keep him catch up for some reason. At age 14, he realised that, with this quirk, he could take a better hit than somebody else. He could be, let's say, cut himself with a kitchen knife and it just wouldn't damage as much, because he's got more dexterity. And then he realised that he could increase his capability at age 14 when somebody tried to chase him with a quirk. Yes, this is a hero. This is a villain. And sorry, scratch the age 14. This is when he was caught by the slime monster. He realised this, but we'll get more into that. As for the big shining problem here, no, he doesn't have Triforce powers yet, or as far as we know. Anyway, back into what he has. He has an affinity for a sword and shield combat, but that does not mean he was trained. It manifested with his quirk, so it's not it's more not a natural thing, is a natural thing or a subnatural thing or whatever. Natural thing. Anyway, so let's get into the story. So, of course, right, so it starts off with him, running around. Basically, he's got all the capabilities of Deku. He's still a nerd, basically, in the nicest way of putting it. Yeah. So he writes about all the heroes. He basically knows everything, and he gets trapped by the slime monster. This is when he figures out that even though he's suffocating and all that, he realizes he can take more of a hit. And that's when he starts to actually fight back with the villain, but of course he loses because he doesn't actually have that much strength. Anyway, this leads into him then. I don't know what happened there. That leads into him then being saved by All Might, grabbing onto All Might. This time he's not that affected by the wind, but he's still affected by the wind. And he asks All Might, can I succeed with such a weak quirk? I want you to help me. And then All Might is of course no, you're too weak. Maybe become a policeman, they can use you. And that is when he runs in, everything goes like usually, tries to save Bakugo. He subsequently fails to save Bakugo. Wow, he's not doing very well, is he? So instead this is of course triggers All Might. All Might's boom, punches and changes whatever. All Might's I want to give you my quirk, and Zelda's no, I don't want it. Now let me explain why. from the rush of chasing after the monster, he's discovered that he doesn't need it yet. He doesn't want it yet. So, also a voice in his head is like, it's not your time, you need to get more stronger. So, instead, All Might chooses to train him. So, All Might trains him. This actually does do something. It increases what his currently 4 hearts is, because you gotta think he agrees 24, the monster, to now, I know this is probably too big of a jump, but 8 hearts, so he's got double the hearts he has. As for stamina, he can now do double the pace of a normal human being. That can either be in speed or stamina or whatever, so he's double the pace, he's double the speed, he can climb, like rock climb, and he's can run for longer than a normal human, like quite a lot longer. Like, it depends, because right now he's not quite strong, but after this he's beefed up basically, and that's when he goes into the UA training exam. This time he decides to take an equipment with him, because basically All Might's gone to his best friend, you know, the one from the movie. Even though they're not friends, well, they are friends, he's asked for him to make this sword, so this guy makes a sword. Well, no, in fact, scratch that. His mum buys him a basic sword and a basic shield, and he gets it checked out with UA, and he's got basic sword and basic shield, and he's successfully fighting. He's successfully got it checked into UA, so he's using these shields, and then he realises his affinity for swords, so he's fighting the first one. Of course, he's athletic, I forgot to mention this, but he's quite athletic, so he flips back, flurry rushes the first robot, that's one down. After that, he gets more into a rhythm. Of course, he's stronger, so it takes about, it's like fighting, it's like, if you played the new Hyrule Warriors, it's like fighting the goblins from them. He defeats just enough to get him in. Then he sees the big robot. This is first when his powers really start to shine. So he runs up and his right hand starts to glow, and that passes into his sword, but not like a blue energy like the Master Sword. This is like a golden energy. So he so when it's about to fall on a shaku, as you know, as it goes, he swipes down his sword, and that basically, it doesn't quite like, it shatters the sword, and it basically like pulls enough power, because you gotta think this is quite weak at the moment. It pulls enough power to basically rip a tiny hole where them two can just survive. It's like, oh my god, they nearly died, but it gets him enough points to get into UA. So now he is in UA, and he throws the ball. He does all average, of course, and Aizawa sees potential in him, so we'll jump into the training part. And as for the training parts, Aizawa, no, this is with All Might now, All Might training, he actually loses to Bakugo. Let me explain why. That's a lie, he doesn't lose, of course he doesn't lose. So anyway, so Bakugo's exploding him, coming around the corner, exploding him. But you know when he dodges him? In because the sword, he's using a wooden sword in practice, because he doesn't want to actually hurt him, so he can just hit them. He doesn't want to like cut them in half. So he uses a wooden sword, so he dodges. He hits Bakugo with a wooden sword, actually getting one quite right, because you've got to think he's a trained swordsman. So you know when he sees him come across and he basically dodges it, then he does a flurry rush, which does enough to basically give Bakugo double vision, and so when he shoots his bomb, it's actually delayed enough that he can deflect it with his shield, which he does, blowing it back at Bakugo, but this completely demolishes his shield and breaks his arm, because of course you've got to think the strength of wielding the shield backwards completely shatters his arm, and it bounces the, and he didn't, even though he deflected it perfectly, it didn't bounce back at him. It basically just exploded in front of Zelda, well, Deku, not damaging him but also not damaging his opponent, which actually ends him up to be losing because he can't do the big sweep up in the air. And of course, he did what he did, he tryharded, leading him then to actually lose the exam, but he was only hurt with a broken arm. Next is... what is next? Next is we're gonna go into USUJA, Universal Studios Japan, USJ, but we're gonna do that next episode because that seems like more appropriate. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I'm sorry about the deadness, I've been a bit tired today, I think you can tell in my voice, but don't worry, I'll bring way more in another video. Thanks for watching, goodbye.